Touchdown. That's weird. Touchdown. Oh, fumble already. Did I recover? I did. Holy shit. I'm a god. Fucking 2 plays, and I got a touchdown already. I kick the ball off. Hit the guy, he fumbles. I pass the ball for a touchdown. That is like the quickest touchdown ever. Oops, that was my fault. Did it the wrong way. I'm diving before they tackle me. Get that extra yardage. First down. I love how long it takes to register a touchdown. Like, you can just be like halfway in the end zone if you just keep heading forward. Man, this game is so ridiculously easy. Like, this game is really fun. I really do enjoy it, and it's an excellent blast from the past, but it's incredibly easy. It's really boring. I don't think there's a difficulty setting either. That might have been a difficulty setting on the main menu, but I don't remember seeing one. See, like, just like that, 4th and 14, and they're already punting the ball. He fucking just punted that from his 11-yard line. I'm already within field goal range right after receiving the ball. It's ridiculous. Getting that extra yardage. Touchdown! I was expecting my guy to break off the block the entire time, and he never did. So I just sat there being stubborn. Oh. Oops. Oh well. I feel like that shouldn't count. I was too busy sneezing. I need to find like a good way to run down the clock. I need the ball. I mean, that works, but my goodness, that took forever. I'd like to run the ball more, just so it's something different, instead of me doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I'd run down the clock a little bit better, but man, running the ball just sucks ass. Alright, game. Thank you. Wow, man. My fucking quarterback decided to chuck the hell out of that one. He wanted to show everybody that he could throw the ball. Hey, and it's my ball again. Yay. Excuse me, gentlemen. First down. I wonder if it'd be worth it to just keep getting a fucking delay of game until, like, I'm pretty much on my 2-yard line. One-yard loss, man. Fuck you. Touchdown. Ah, I did it the wrong way, shit. Oh, they're going for it. The bastards. Get him! Damn it. It's so hard to tell when, like, you're sitting there trying to switch. It's hard to tell who you switch to. So I'm just, like, hitting A and B and then hitting B. So I'm just pretty much trying to mash, because it's just really impossible when you got a bunch of people just all crowded around like that to who you're playing as. Dude, game, how do you choose who I'm picking? I'm sitting there trying to switch to the defender out where the ball's going, and I'm just hitting A and B and it's switching to literally everybody but that one guy. It's funny though, because like computer, okay, running the ball in this game I feel is just completely useless, but like computer passing on this game feels completely useless, because when they pass, like, they just can't do fucking shit with it, but when I run the ball I can't do shit with it, but that's like the only thing they can do. It's interesting. Just trying to run out the game clock. There we go. So yeah, this game would be a lot harder if the computer could actually connect their passes. I don't understand how they just have so much trouble with it. And I hate this new Twitch layout because I got the hosting screen on the right side now, and it's constantly flickering around and it's driving me nuts. I wish it was a mercy roll so much. Holy shit. Oh, come on, what a waste of time. That's the one thing that sucks about this game, though, is you have to wait quite a while to be able to throw the ball. So I, like, threw that one too quick, so I actually had to dive to catch it. So I'm actually really surprised I caught it. I hit B. Come on, game. I don't think I was past the line of scrimmage, so I don't think I could dive yet. Huh. Alright, we're running this bitch in. Never mind, no we're not. Had to dive backwards to catch it. Oh no. Yes, a safety! I really wanted that safety. That's awesome. Why did he just kick the ball off? What the hell is this? That's my mind's broken. Isn't it a punt after you get safetied? You punt it like a... You do like a kickoff, but, you know, from the punt. And the guy has to actually hold the ball. Unless I'm crazy. I mean, it's been a long while since I've played football or paid attention to football, so I probably remember. Or, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of shit, but... I go to spawn with the safety. I know they, you know... They lose the ball, you get 2 points, they have to... Is it a regular kick? For some reason I was thinking it was a punt. Like, cause I could have sworn there was like an extra layer of, man, you're pathetic, you just got safetied. So, like, not only do you give the other team 2 points and the ball, that is also something like doing a punt. I'm just glad that I got a safety. That's, after I lost the ball on like the 2-yard line, I was like, man, I just want a safety now. Boom. Why was I thinking it was a punt? Am I just fucking crazy or something? Probably crazy. I mean... He just dove for the first down. What a dick. I love how they just said 5-yard gain. And weren't they like missing like 3 yards or something, or 2 yards? But that just said 5-yard gain. I don't know, I'm not really paying too much attention to the game, so it could have been 5 yards. What? He fucking walked into my guy laying on the ground and got fucking tackled. Ah, that's funny. Oh. Oh. How is that not a sack? How is that not a fucking interception? Man, this sucks. I got like 2 or 3 more games of this. I know that sounds bad. It's not a bad game. This really isn't. That's the worst thing about this. It's not a bad game. It's just boring. It's one of these games where you put in every once in a while and you play a game of football and you're like, yeah. And you're just done with it for like 2 years. It's not a game where you just play an actual playoff season. Yeah, absolutely. Bad games that are still somehow interesting, like they just got like horrible controls or something like that, but they're still like can be fun, got decent mechanics, good ideas, shit like that. Can still be enjoyable. Boring games though, it's just like, eh. Like this has got really good controls. It's a really good game. It really truly is. For its time, you know, for what it is, it's a really good built, really well built game. It just, there's no challenge at all. I mean, if I really wanted to impose a challenge, I guess I could do like runs only. Because running the ball is just incredibly difficult in this game. But even then, the A button, like turbo, it breaks tackles and shit. It knocks them down. So I mean, if I just timed my like sprint button when somebody got close, every time I ran the ball, I could gain probably 5 yards. I mean, since I have 4 downs, I could probably easily get a first down just by running the ball too. But I mean, look at it. It's 44-7. 44-7. Like, this isn't even in the realm of close. That's one thing that's nice about baseball games is the mercy rule. So if like you find a baseball game, you find a baseball game really easy, and like you can find a way to like kind of abuse it, because like all older sports games, it's really easy. You find like one thing that works and you just stick with it. Dude, who am I switching to? So like older sports games, you can find that one thing that just always seems to work and you just keep doing that. So like baseball games, it's the pitching. Like you can always find something that just works. And then it's just finding, you know, just batting correctly. And then the mercy rule's pretty much free. That's always the hard thing in baseball games, like older baseball games, is finding out like how to bat correctly. Pitching's usually pretty fucking easy. Like, I know, I knocked that guy down and then fucking ran over top of him and got tackled by him. Extra innings, that was like one of my favorite games growing up. And, the pitching, you just, like, purposely place it on the corner, and then you'd, like, swerve it inside or swerve it outside. Every single time it worked. Without fail. Okay, not every single time, and not without fail. But the majority of the time, you'd strike them out. See, I told you running the ball wouldn't be too difficult. You just gotta abuse that A button. Welcome to Extra Innings. That was like one of the greatest intros to any video game ever. That was a good baseball game. I always loved the end of a match on that game, because then it'd switch to the girl. I can't remember if she was a cheerleader or a fan or whatever, but she'd either be happy, neutral, or pissed off. And I don't know why, but she seemed to be pissed off the majority of the time I won, which always hurt my feelings. Let him score! Let him score! They deserve it. They've played like champs. I love how the guy with the ball was like the last one to enter the fucking touchdown or the end zone. Yeah. Because like when you have the ball, like, you know, this game's got the like pretty much the catch-up mechanic, so the guy with the ball goes slower than like everybody else. So it's just fucking terrific because he was like the last one to enter the fucking end zone. Oh my goodness, dude. Look how many games I have left. That was my 3rd one. Here's my 4th one, and I have 5, 6, and 7. Oh my goodness, this is going to take forever. You know, the bad thing is it's not actually going to take forever time-wise. It's just going to feel like it's going to take forever. Everybody needs participation points, man. You know, like, playing this game, it really makes me want to play NFL Streets. I know that sounds weird. It's like, this game and NFL Streets are about, like, the furthest thing apart from each other. But just growing up, I played a lot of sports games because, you know, I was a fucking boy growing up in a small town. That's all you really did was play sports. And, I had 2 brothers, so, you know, sports is a huge thing. And NFL Streets, I remember playing that. That was fucking such a fun game. I know I could never beat it. That's what always pissed me off. I'd always get like so far, and then it just became a point where I just could not get past it. I even remember what my character design for that game was, which always made me laugh because, like, I played quarterback when I actually played football, so that's the character that I made. He was a quarterback. And he had like a visor on, so you know, like the top of the head is open from the hat. And I had pink dreads, because pink has been my favorite color for God knows how long. And so I had pink dreads with a visor, so it was weird because every time you saw it, it looked like his brain was exposed. I didn't do it on purpose, but it worked out perfectly, because that's exactly what it looked like. It just looked like his brain was exposed. Dude, the fucking character switching on this game is horrible. I'm trying to switch to the dude that has a chance for a sack, and it just won't switch to him. Yeah, it is a really fun game. I don't think I ever played the second one. Actually, I'm not sure which one I played, the first or second one. I think it was the first. But I only ever played one of them. It was a fun little game. Like, it was cool though because it was, you know, like NFL Blitz and like the goofy crap that you could do and slam people to the ground and all that. But it was also cool because you had like walls and shit, and like your characters could kind of like bounce off of them and do all kinds of weird shit. I remember as a kid that game pissed me off so much because, like I said, I mean, after a certain point, it got where I could not progress anymore. Oh, I just realized you said NBA Street. Yeah, I didn't play many basketball games, but like, I got to a point where I just couldn't progress anymore, and I remember fucking constantly thinking the game was bullshit and unfair. Which, as a kid, I'm pretty sure that was the go-to option at all times when you couldn't progress, just instantly call the game unfair. To be fair, though, I think NFL Street was unfair, so... I imagine NBA Street Volume 2 was a lot like NFL Street. Yeah, I don't think that's limited to kids playing it, because I say that to this day. To be fair, though, there's a lot of very unfair game mechanics in games, which makes you wonder, like, what the hell the game developers were doing when they made the game. When they, like, and I always question whether or not they have quality assurance. Oh, that's out of bounds. Whatever. I'm always questioning whether they have quality assurance and... My God. And if they have anybody playtesting these games. Because it just gets to a really, really silly point sometimes. Literally every retro stream on Twitch whenever a game is... Game's bullshit, artificial difficulty, bad game design. Well, Okay, so you say that, but what kills me is Ninja Gaiden is like one of the most beloved games on the NES. And if you want to talk about a game that's bullshit with artificial difficulty and bad game design, that is probably like the fucking best game to talk about. I hate Ninja Gaiden. I don't understand why people love it. Yeah, it's fucking... I can understand why people... Oh. I switched to that guy just in time to get the interception. I can understand why people enjoy the game, think it's a good game and all that. When there is no bullshit moments, it's a really good game. It's a really fun game. It's a well-built game. But when you get those moments where you have to jump over, you know, a gap, you jump and a bird spawns right there. Like, there's no way for you to do anything about that without you just knowing already that the bird's going to be there. And you have to be prepared for it. And even knowing the bird's there half the time doesn't even help. You're still more than likely going to die. It's just like, dude, that's horrible design. And it's not like you can jump out, bait the bird, kill it, and then do the jump, because it just spawns there at all times. Because the spawn point is always like off the screen. So that's always been one of my go-to games when it comes to artificial difficulty and just bullshit and whatnot. I can't tell you, it feels like it's been a while since I've actually called a game bullshit, artificially difficult, or had bad game design until I started doing the GBE. When you go back to older games, man, you find so many games that are just bullshit with artificial difficulty and bad game design. But at the same time, I think that was something that was more in the retro category. Shit, holy shit. I think that was something that was just more in the retro category and whatnot, because to make games last longer, you know, when you had these older 8-bit games and whatnot, to make them last a little bit longer, make them artificially difficult. See, I don't know, my way of looking at it is, I know a lot of people hated Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. I think it's one of the best game series ever. And it took my buddies a long time to get me into that game, because they kept on talking about it, and I'm just like, nah, because it was one of those games that got hyped up so much. I think I've talked about this before, but anything that gets hyped up a bunch, I don't ever want to be a part of, because I'm scared that, like, I'm just going to automatically dislike it because it got so hyped. I'm expecting, you know, one of the best things ever, and it just doesn't turn out to be that. So Dark Souls I was scared to get into because it was so overhyped, and when I finally got into Dark Souls, I fucking loved it. Dude, can I switch to somebody, please? Wow, turnover. That's ridiculous. But when I finally got into Dark Souls, it was such a good game. And it was really difficult. But, like, it was fair difficult, which is just, I feel, was very rare. Like, if you died, it was your fault. It wasn't like you're midair and then a bird just randomly fucking spawned or anything. It was, if you're good enough at the game, you can beat the game. And if you're having troubles on a boss, you can go and level somewhere, you can go get new items, or you can just keep fighting the boss and learn his attacks and his patterns and shit. So when it comes to difficulty, I mean, that was one of the best games. But, like, artificial difficulty, when I think artificial difficulty, I think of these retro games because they would just add random, like, shit in the game to just pretty much increase the length of the game by making it where you're going to die there. Like, unless you know this event's already happening, like the bird spawning, unless you know that's already happening, you're more than likely just going to die. Dude, can I please switch to the guy in front of the ball carrier? Game, seriously? This game's so dumb. They literally just got a touchdown because there's 2 people in front of the ball carrier, and I kept on switching to the guy, like, every single player behind the ball carrier. That's who I was switching to. I don't know if there's a certain way to choose who you're switching to, or if there's a way to kind of have some choice in the matter, but I haven't been able to figure it out. I'm just constantly hitting A and B and just hoping to God it switches who I want it to. Like, I mean, another thing of like artificial difficulty with older games is like that Dr. Franken 2 that I played. That I just felt like could have been a decent, okay game. If it wasn't for the fact that they decided to make it where you had to get through that entire game on 3 lives. And unless you know about the healing mechanic and how to get that working, you're pretty much just stuck on 3 lives and you have to get through. And the bad thing is there's enemies that you can't kill. There's just all kinds of weird shit where it's just impossible not to really take damage. So it's one of those things when you look at it like, just a bunch of artificial difficulty in my opinion. Yeah, I do too, Crazy, but I'm so bored of this game, man. It's an easy game. It's a very, very easy game. It's a fun game, but it's an easy game. And I've played 3 out of like 7 matches so far. So I got a long ass time to go still. As I was saying, like with this game, it's fun, but it's not one of those games where you play like 7 games in a row. It's one of these games where you play like a game here and there, and then every so many months or whatever you just come back to it and like, oh man, this game is so much fun. I mean, this isn't bad. That's the upside. This is not a bad game. I would never call this a bad game. For what it is, you know, and everything, it's definitely not a bad game. It's got really good mechanics. Overall, it's a really good game in my opinion. It's just really boring. That's the big issue with a lot of older sports games is you can find these mechanics that just work, and I don't want to say break the game, but pretty much break the game. Because like the AI just doesn't know how to handle certain things. Like I played FIFA Soccer 97 in the GBA already, and I was going to do like a playoff or whatever, and yeah, it just makes it too easy. But so my very first match, I loaded up an exhibition. I think that's what I did. I was like, because I loaded up the playoff and then it just played like extremely slow. It was a very slow playing game. And I was like, yeah, screw this. I'm not playing like 16 matches of soccer to consider this game beat. I'm just going to play 1. If I enjoy it, you know, whatever, I'll just do more. But I loaded it up and I'm just playing for a while. It plays really, really slowly. And then I found out if you kick from the same area, so like the ball's coming at the goal from the same angle, the goalie can't stop it. Like he just can't. Like there was one, like you can kind of dribble the ball, but like how to do it is you gotta like pass the ball in front of you. So like you barely kick the ball, like you hit the pass button, and then to catch up to the ball you gotta use the sprint button. The sprint button happens to be the same button as the as the kick button, like not to pass, but to actually kick the ball for a goal. So what you do is you barely tap the pass button, so you just pretty much tap it right in front of you, and then you hit the, you motherfucker. So you hit the barely tap the pass button, then mash the sprint button, and then make sure that you're not hitting it before you reach the ball, because if you reach the ball while you're still hitting it, you're going to kick it to the net. No matter how far away you are, your character is going to put some power behind it. So it's a weird thing where you got to tap A, mash B, stop hitting B right before you get to the ball, tap A, mash B, you know. So it's a really annoying mechanic to have to deal with, but if you can get it down, it's easy as shit to have control of the ball and like never lose it. And if you do lose the ball, you know, since it's an older soccer game, you can just sit there and tackle everybody and get the ball back really easily. So I was doing that, and I accidentally kicked the ball once. I was like, son of a bitch. Which, I mean, I did that about a million times where I accidentally just kicked the ball towards the goal from, like, super far away. But I did that, and it just happened to be the exact line that I had already figured out always goes into the net no matter what. So I kick it from probably about, like, half the pitch away. The goalie dives and misses it like he has done every single time, but the ball was going so slow it stopped in front of the net. Like, that's what I mean about, like, you can find a game mechanic that works and it just pretty much breaks the game because the AI can't deal with it. So I kicked this from like half the pitch, and since it was just from that exact angle that always goes in, the goalie dove, missed it, and it just seriously like walked past him and stopped right in front of the net. I'm like, are you shitting me? So that was a very long-winded story about me trying to say how sports games are, like, older sports games are really busted. If you can find that one thing that works. So I found that way to get a goal really, really quickly in the game, and that just, it broke the game for me. I was like, yeah, this isn't fun. Because if you go from the exact same angle, the ball will go in no matter what. So at the end, like, I wasn't even trying anymore. I just kind of stopped playing, just started talking to chat, being bored. And I still ended up winning like 8-1 or some shit like that. Like, it was dumb. The medium pass isn't broken. It's passing is broken because computer just can't handle it. Did I grab that? Did they get it? Oh, wow, they got it. Computer, it's weird because like running the ball works on this game, but in a very weird way. Oh my god, how many times are they going to fumble? I've never seen this many fumbles before. They're constantly fumbling the ball. What in the shit? I'm actually mad because they're fumbling the ball so much. That's ridiculous. But running the ball works on this game because like the A button is like the sprint, so it knocks them down like right there. So I mean, you can easily run the ball too. But with the pass, computer just can't handle it. So like if I choose medium pass, they never have like man-on-man coverage or anything. So these guys are always wide open. So look at that. Just wide open every single time. And computer can't really pass either when they're on offense. So I mean, they pretty much, the only thing they can do well is run the ball. I think the thing that helps them out the most is changing who you want to play as, like the character you're controlling. That's kind of a pain in the ass. So sometimes that helps them when it comes to passing and running. Because if you get close to them, like just past the line of scrimmage, they'll throw the ball away really quickly. And if they throw the ball away, if they throw the ball away when they're passing, they just don't make it. Because the character has to be like so far away. Dude, cycle, come on, for the love of... Just change to the guy in front of the guy at the ball. Oh my... This is 2 touchdowns now for them. This is their second touchdown this game that they got because it would not cycle to the guy in front of the guy with the ball. It just kept on changing to somebody behind him. So I'm just constantly switching to somebody behind the guy with the ball. That is hands down the worst thing about this game, is switching characters. Yeah, very true, some girl. I just wish there was like an easier way to run out the clock though. I think the easiest way to probably run out the clock is just pick a run play or pass play and just keep running like back and forth like this pretty much, but like so I mean, even if I run the ball though, it's not that difficult because all I gotta do is when I get close to somebody, just hit A and I'll just knock them down like that. So I mean, running the ball is not difficult. Passing is just really, really fucking easy though, so there's no point ever not passing the ball. Plus, the computer loves blitzing for some reason. So like right there, they set up blitz formation. So if they're blitzing and you're set up for a pass, they have like 2 people just sitting back there, actually playing defense. And the blitz, it's never fast enough where it's actually going to get you before you get the ball off. Do 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 do. I'm just trying to waste time, guys. Leave me alone. $49-21. What a close match. Why did I just run out of bounds? I'm trying to run down the clock and I just run out of bounds like an idiot. Nobody saw that. I love how those two are just look blocked. They're just blocked. Like, I'm running the ball. Look at this. These two are just like making out. What are those two doing? Those guys weren't even trying the entire time. I think that's what sucks too, is the fact that I think they actually called a timeout because I saw T3 blinking. So I wonder if that's timeouts. Because I was like, man, that's nice. The clock stops on a first down, which, I mean, I know like the clock doesn't. What is it? The clock stops just while they're moving the flags, moving the markers, the first down markers. I think that's how it works, if I recall correctly. 2-minute warning's not in the game anymore, is it? I could have sworn that was like something that got removed. Like I said, it's been forever since, well, you weren't here, but I listened to saying how it's been forever since I followed football, and I forget a lot of the rules, but I know, I could have sworn, yeah, okay, college all night. I know there was something about it. 10 seconds left. Mine! Oh, lordy. Is it still in college football? For some reason I could have sworn like it just wasn't there anymore. I gotta barely tap this because I fucked up on the angle. So I would have put that out of bounds, and I didn't feel like putting it out of bounds. Wait, what 2-minute warning is in a foul? Is it? I have no idea. I know it's in one of them. I never know which. I know there's just one. It's either in college or NFL. Oh, okay. Because I know that's a way to, like, while running down the field, that's a way to gain a little bit more time is when you get a first down, you get the chains moved. Dude, if I was ever a coach for, like, football, all my players would do no huddle. No huddle offense is the best. Are we sure about this, Crazy? Because I feel like I said, it's just been a while, but I could have sworn the 2-minute warning was... How the hell did they just miss the PAT? I could have sworn 2-minute warning was only one of them, and I could have sworn like it got moved. I'm just crazy. Well, I know. What was it? College football, NFL. They just recently changed the like PAT, like the distance of it, which I was like, what the fuck, man? We've been using the same distance for how many years, and all of a sudden we're changing that up. You even had it in high school? What? Had to die for it. Dude, you're crazy. I played football. Well, I stopped playing football in high school, but I played football from Pee Wee all the way up to high school. And I don't remember there ever being a 2-minute warning. I mean, it's probably just different for me, but... Man, did I start hating football when I grew up. I actually played, it was weird because I played sports my entire life. You know, from, I think Pee Wee football was like the first sport I got into. But even like before that, you know, you always played sports with your brothers and family members and shit. And I did have a bunch of concussions actually, so that might be true. I was on the worst football team ever, I'm not even joking. Like, my crowning moment while playing on that team in football was the, whatever 5th and 6th grade combined was called at that point in time. We got a touchdown. For the entire 2 years that I played on that team, we got a touchdown. That was the crowning achievement for me that year. Because I had a bunch of idiots that refused to block. Because I was the quarterback. I had a bunch of idiots that refused to block. So yeah, I got actually quite a bit of concussions. So that might be why. Maybe that got knocked out of me. Switch to somebody in front of the ball. Thank you. But a lot of foot injuries. No, it was weird because, you know, I grew up playing sports and everything. I actually stopped everything in high school. I started wrestling in middle school. I stopped that in high school. I had been playing football my entire life. I stopped that in high school. I never really got into any of the other sports. I was never a fan of basketball. I only played soccer when I was really, really young. Never got into that. Trying to think of any other sports. I don't think there really were many other ones than that. I know it was weird though, because in middle school, when I was like my very first year of wrestling in middle school, because it was what, 8th grade, so 2nd year of middle school, I got into wrestling, and
the middle school, we went to the high school for wrestling practice. So the high school would finish classes and then have to wait around for us to finish our wrestling practice. It was really weird. So like they actually worked out inside the school. Like I'm not even joking. Like classes would end, they would go get changed, and then they would do like they'd run around inside the school, you know, for stamina training. I'm trying to think of what I'd want to call that. But it was weird though because, you know, I was just starting wrestling. I was in middle school. The high school would actually wait to start their practices until pretty much like we finished, because they started kind of late. So it'd seriously be, I'd finish wrestling practice, go change shoes, run inside the school, and then right as they saw the door open, like they'd all be sitting there staring at the door. Right as they saw it open, they saw me, they're like, go! And I'd go running, like sprinting over to them. They'd tell me what we're doing for the day. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I just started doing that. So that was my first and only year of wrestling. And it was weird though because I was in middle school, and then I got to high school where I'm actually supposed to be part of their practices, and I quit. Well, my main reason for quitting is I was brand new to wrestling. You know, I had only 1 year of experience under my belt. And, you know, they put you with people around your weight class. And everybody around my weight class had been wrestling their entire fucking lives. Like, one of the dudes was actually going to another school for wrestling. Like, he went to our school for, like, being taught and everything. But, like, afterwards, like, he'd get out of school and go to this other, like, school just because for wrestling, because he was so good, and it was, like, a really good school for wrestling. So he'd actually go there, but occasionally, like when they didn't have practice or whatever, he would actually stay at our school and wrestle. So I mean, he was like, he had been wrestling his entire life. He was insanely good, and everybody else that I had practice with and around my weight class had been wrestling since they were fucking little. Hell, one of the kids, his dad was actually our fucking wrestling coach. So after getting the living shit beat out of me because they'd been wrestling their entire lives, I was like, yeah, this isn't fun, I quit. Nothing more entertaining than having people who have been playing a sport their entire lives beating the shit out of you. And you know, it's weird too because like there's a lot of strength involved in wrestling, but I'd say the majority of it is you know, skill, you know, mechanics, stuff like that. So if you don't know all these fancy moves, you're very limited on what you can do offensively, and defensively I'd say you're even more limited. So they could just do whatever the fuck they wanted to me. It was not fun at all. Very, very, very unfun point in time in my life. But now I became really lazy in high school. Yeah. It's like, everybody needs their finisher, right? I mean, if you don't have the rock bottom, the stone cold stunner, I mean, are you actually a wrestler? No, like, just all the moves, like, in wrestling, because I knew... I actually did pretty well my 1 year of wrestling. I did decent. But that was mainly because I just had been doing sports my entire life. So I was actually decently strong, so I just used a lot of my strength to my advantage. And I was always an agile, fast kid. So that helped out a lot. So I was actually I didn't know any moves. I just pretty much did the same fucking move. It took me a while, like, even though, like, one of the very first things you learn in wrestling is how to shoot. You know, just dive in, grab their leg, and take them down to the ground. I just refused to do that for the longest time. And then one match I had a kid, like, usually what I did, I'm not even joking, I would wait for them to take me down to the ground, and then I would just pretty much reverse them, and then I'd win from that. Because I had I wasn't comfortable with taking people down. And I actually, one match I had a kid that just refused, so I actually had to shoot and got really comfortable with it. And it was pretty much I would just shoot, take him down to the ground, and then use the exact same move every single time to try to pin him. So when, like, you know, like, pretty much 2 moves and that's it. There's so many fucking moves that you can do in wrestling that are just ridiculous. Man, these guys are kicking my ass right now. It's 21-13. Oh, I was trying to intercept it. How? That's twice now. They've missed 2 PATs. You guys need to get your shit together. This is embarrassing for both of us. I mean, I got really, really lazy in high school, so I think that's why I quit sports. Because in high school, all I did was sleep. High school was amazing. You know you're doing something wrong or doing something right. I can't decide which. When pretty much your teachers all give up on you and just like, yeah, fuck it, just sleep, I don't care. Dude, catch the ball. Like, every single teacher I had in high school gave me shit for sleeping. And then every single one of them I looked at, I'm like, I'm going to fucking sleep. I don't care. You can threaten me with detentions, in-school suspensions, Saturday schools. I don't care. I'm going to sleep. I just don't care. And one thing I learned is the public education system in America, the teachers don't care. They don't get paid enough to give a rat's ass. So eventually, oh man, that didn't run out the time at all. That sucked. So eventually all these teachers just gave up and let me sleep. So I slept all the time in high school. It was amazing. Like, I don't remember like jack shit from high school. It was funny though because, well, I guess not funny, haha, more like funny, like, wow, this school's retarded. My senior year, I actually signed up for advanced math, because I enjoyed math, I always enjoyed math. And it was like one of the few classes I tried in. I still slept in it, but I actually tried. By doing my homework every once in a while. That's what I mean by try. And, I signed up for advanced math my senior year. But I signed up for advanced math my senior year, and apparently they were full. And they didn't have room for me, which I'm still suspect on that. I assume more than likely they're like, oh, this kid doesn't try, we're not putting him in advanced math. Anywho, they put me in art, which makes no fucking sense at all. Like, ooh, advanced math, art, they both start with A, they both have a T in there. I mean, that's close enough. So, instead of getting advanced math, I got art, which I'm not an artistic person at all. Not even in the slightest little fucking bit am I artistic. And, so I was already sleeping all the time in high school, and I got pissed off because I got put into art class, with me being, like, the least artistic person in the universe. So all I did was sleep. I didn't do any of my work in art class. I still got a C. And I don't know if it was a mixture of my teacher just saying the hell with it, or because it was my buddy, because my best friend, he was in art all 4 years. He was very artistic, and he was good friends with the teacher. So he actually walked in one day and was sitting there talking to her about me and everything, and then next thing you know, I just have a C in art class. I'm like, alright. I still maintain that was partially because it's just the public education system. It's like, we don't fucking care. Just move them along. God, school in America sucks ass, man. Did not mean to choose that. Do 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 do. Alright, so Twitch has a new layout for the dashboard thing, and it's driving me nuts because everything was like down on the bottom, and now there's wow, how many fumbles? Now like a lot of the stuff is on the right side. I don't know if it just auto did that, like, and I can probably fix it, and I don't really care, but it's just I'm noticing it. It's kind of bothering me. Anywho, the hosting and auto hosting thing, I can actually see that now, which I'm used to not being able to see that. The people that are hosting me, does that mean they actually like typed in /host in my name? And the people that auto hosted me are the ones that just have like the auto host thing going on? First round. Because the hosting, I have 4 people hosting me. Ha! Ha! Oh, that was a great turnover. Right before he gets a touchdown, I just fucking tackle him and he drops the ball. But on the hosting me, I have 4 people. Auto host, I got 10. So I'm assuming like the hosting, these are people who actually like clicked host on me or actually typed it in. And auto host are people that had me set to their auto host. Crazy, you're one of them, by the way. You're one of the people that is on my hosting list. See, that's what I'm just really confused by, because I imagine it'd be hosting is people that, you know, clicked, hey, host this person, or typed it. And auto hosting would be the thing set to auto host, but that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's an auto host because it's Bang, Sprinting Legs, Blue Infinity, and you. And I'd be kind of surprised if you guys all actually typed in to host. I don't know. It's very, very confusing. Like I said, I think I never really see while streaming, but because I don't know if it's because I cleared all my cookies and all that shit off of Chrome, so now I'm just seeing the thing differently, or if they changed the layout. But I'm seeing it now, and it's bothering me, or it's just broken. I mean, it's Twitch, so the chances of it just being broken is very high. Oops. I just hit that. I just did that like I'd do a PAT. Whatever. Charge! Dude, switch to somebody. Game. Thank you. I'm sitting there just mashing A and B, and it just would not switch to anybody. How many times are you guys going to fumble the ball? You know what's weird is like the first 2 games I played last weekend, like there were almost no fumbles. Today there has been about 1 million fumbles. I don't get what's going on. Is there a certain way you can hit people, or is it like later in the game they start fumbling? I don't. I mean, last game they fumbled about 1 million fucking times, which is an impressive number. You know what? It makes sense though. I guess this is supposed to be pro football. Dude, I hate fucking watching pros. I hate watching college football too. We were just talking about like Pee Wee and all that. One of the very first things you get taught is how to hold the ball correctly. Yeah, pros in college football, they don't do that anymore. It drives me fucking nuts. Every single time I watch like a fumble happen in like pro football or college football, whatever, I'm like, yeah, no shit, look how he's holding the fucking ball. Like when they go through the fucking line and they have it in like one arm, they got it tucked in like one arm. It's like, dude, are you shitting me? One of the very first things you're taught is when you're gonna get hit, when somebody's close, you tuck the fucking football. Like, everybody knows that. And like when you're running the ball, if you're on the right side, like you're outside and you're right along the edge, you put the ball in whatever arm is closest to the out of bounds. So if somebody tackles you, the ball's pretty much usually going to go outside. But yet you'll watch people all the time, they have the ball like tucked in their right arm while they're on the left side of the field. It's like, what are you doing? That's just wrong. Like, it drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely fucking nuts. Like, I feel like there's more fumbles in like college and pro football than there is in like biddy league, which is just ridiculous. Tuck the damn ball. See, look at that fumble. First down. Really, they're going for a field goal. You guys are losing by like 30 points. Why in the fuck would you go for a field goal? You know, that's actually cool though, because that's, I think, the first field goal I've seen. Yeah, it is. They've all been touchdowns and PATs so far, so that was actually the first field goal. Man, that was 30. Holy shit, that was 2 minutes, and then that short play went all the way down to 137. I'm just trying to run out the clock, man. First down. Please stop using timeouts. You guys aren't going to win. What's the logic here? Like, hey, it's 49-22. There's like a minute left in the game. We're going to win this if we keep doing timeouts. What fucking sense does that make? Hey, 1 second left. What bad sports, man? Seriously. Hey guys, we're down 20 points. 1 minute left in the game. Let's keep using timeouts. or just don't do that. So, you know, we recently had the Handheld Heroes, and then a few months before that, I was part of the Retro Gaming Live Marathon. I can't even remember what it was called. You know, it's funny. When I do these marathons, I actually lose followers. It's like, it's really hurtful. Speaking of Handheld Heroes, crazy. Dude, what the fuck? I think we contacted you like 4 different times to possibly fill in. And either you were busy and you couldn't fill in, or we couldn't get a hold of you. And speaking of which, I didn't realize that you and EBC were related. He told me that. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Why was I never informed of this? Because I was talking to him, I was like, we needed somebody to fill in. And we were like, oh, we can get crazy. And I was just in the middle of typing about how I was going to get a hold of you. And EBC is like, yeah, I just sent him a message. I'm like, alright, cool. I was like, just getting ready to do that. He's like, oh, well, it's really easy for me to get a hold of him. He's my cousin. I'm like, oh, okay. What? How's that not an interception? The fuck is this game? Inches. Wow, they didn't get the fucking first down, so they're punting. Okay, if you're on the 50-yard line, 50-yard line with inches to go, you don't fucking punt the ball. I don't care. Because like, you can seriously just hike the ball and then have the quarterback like sneeze and you got a first down. Why in the fuck would you punt it while on the 50 in your inches? And I'm pointing out the 50-yard line because it'd be different if you're on like your 20. Then yeah, punt it, because if you fuck up somehow, it's an easy first down for them. But the 50-yard line, they still have 50 yards to go, which is half the field. I'm sorry, but you go for it. It's inches. Inches. Do, 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 do. God damn it. Every single time I make fucking coffee while doing the GBE, I get a fucking gnat in my coffee. I hate summertime. Okay, I don't hate summertime. Because I can't stand the cold. I can deal with the heat. But every single fucking... There's just bugs everywhere. Where do they come from? And like, it's incredible to me, because these are some stupid ass fucking bugs. Like, how dumb do you have to be to drown your fucking self? Like, this is a cup of liquid. And then they just like fly into it. Idiots. How's that not an interception? Switch to the guy in front game. The guy in front. Okay, seriously? That will be an interception, but when I'm standing like on top of the fucking ball, it won't be. Explain yourself, game. See, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that should be an interception. Because I'm jumping like right in front of him, where like right on top of the ball. Oh well, whatever. Ha! You guys missed it. That wasn't even fucking close. See, and like, look how far away I was from the thing there, but I still caught it. But yeah, when I go for the interception, like, I don't understand how interceptions work compared to receptions. I guess I don't understand reception either because I was right on the ball. What's up, Z? Dude, I got interviewed by Quo. It was weird. It was weird, but really, really cool. I've never been interviewed before. It's funny though, because he got a hold of me and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing a history of TMC world record holders and with the TMC world records." And he asked if he could ask me some questions. I'm like, yeah, sure. I figured it'd be like one or two. And then he pretty much asked me a bunch, so like it turned into an interview. It was really weird. But it was so cool. I've never been interviewed before. Oh, he wanted people who were good at TMC Z-Nubs. Sorry, I wasn't too clear of that. No, I think it was funny though because you know, he was asking me all these questions, and then one of them he's like, "I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Do you ever see yourself coming back to TMC?" And I was like, "No, because I'm still pretty burnt out of the game, but every time I think about coming back to it," I was top 5 before the decline. I was like, every time I think about coming back to the game, I'm like, nah, I'm still kind of burnt out. But not only that, even here recently, I've thought about it. I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind going back to TMC. But then I look at the fact that the world record is on Wii U Virtual Console. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. That's what's honestly holding me back the most, is the fact that it's on Wii U Virtual Console. Because I told him one of my biggest complaints with the speedrunning community as a whole is how everybody is so up in arms about emulators. Like, emulators are just the worst fucking thing in the world to these people. Yeah, Toad's the only one on Virtual Console, but he's the world record holder. And that's what I told, Quo. I was like, if I came back to TMC, I'd want to fight for the world record. And Toad's is a much better runner than I am, and he would have the advantage of playing on a faster system. So I was like, there's no way in hell I'd ever come back to it because I just wouldn't be able to challenge the world record. And, but no, like, my biggest complaint with the speedrunning community as a whole is the fact that emulators are seen as, like, the most blasphemous thing you can do. Like, emulators are just horrible. Like, ever since I've gotten into ever since I've known about the speedrunning community, was a part of it, like, people just were up in arms about emulators. Like, they were just fucking the worst possible thing. And I always thought that was just really dumb. And then, like, you get the same people who are just up in arms about emulators who will, on the flip side, be like, oh yeah, emulators? Yeah, those are awesome, as long as they're official. It's like, what the fuck sense does that make? So, like, emulators are just the fucking Satan's creation to these people. But when it's an official emulator, even if it's faster, it's okay. And that's what pisses me off the most, is the fact that the reason why emulators are so wrong in these people's eyes is because it's usually faster than console. It's like, I get that, I do. It's like, why would you want something faster than console? But then they're like, and then they'll point out the fact that they'll find out that, like, some official emulator is faster, and they're like, oh, awesome, let's run on that. It's like, wait a minute, what? You don't want emulator because it's faster than console, but you're okay with official emulator even though it's faster than console because it's official emulator. So what fucking sense does that make? Either you allow emulators or you don't allow emulators. And that's what I was talking to Quo about. I was like, you guys, like, I know, like, there was a poll that you guys just did on unbanning emulators, like on the leaderboard, like you had them hidden. That's what it was, unhiding them. I'm like, why is that a thing? And, like, the world record is on a fucking emulator, but yet you're hiding emulator runs. I was like, that makes no sense. Like, obviously don't go and pick, like, VBA or something as your guys' emulator. Like, pick an emulator that isn't, like, 1,000 times faster than console. But other than that, why not allow emulator? So that's my biggest reason for not coming back to TMC, is the fact that Toads is just a better runner than I am anyway. And he's on Wii U Virtual Console. And I'm not going to fucking go out and spend money on a Wii U just to speedrun TMC, so... My thing is, I don't care. Like, if you're going to allow official emulator, allow, you know, an emulator that somebody made, unofficial emulator. But just pick one that's not, like, broken in speed. It's not that difficult. Like, don't go and pick VBA, which everybody knows is super fucking broken and, like, 1,000 times faster. Like, MGBA is pretty accurate. At least from my understanding, it's pretty accurate. So fucking be like, yeah, emulators are allowed, guys. We're cool with emulators. Just you have to use this one. Like, the GB community is, yeah, we're cool with emulators. You just have to use one of, like, these 3 emulators. But no, that's always been my big complaint because, like, look at fucking Cosmo. When he went and got the fucking IQ, which I brought this up last time and somebody told me the IQ wasn't an emulator. But, I'm sorry, that fucking thing was... I think that just kind of goes in the boat of emulator. Just because, I mean, it's a random-ass fucking, like, Chinese console. Like, it's just some random shit. And they're like, oh no, it's cool, because it's licensed by Nintendo. So, like, even though it's faster... It's licensed by Nintendo. It's just, dumb rules like that. My thing is, I want it fair. I like the speedrunning community. I feel is already like separated, and it's very small. Why continuously make that harder? Like, just allow everybody to be a part of the fucking speedrunning community instead of putting all these weird ass restrictions. Right there, like, with A Link to the Past, a very specific version. It's like, that's perfect. Like, hey, you can speedrun this. We don't care. Just use this fucking version of the emulator. Like, and it's terrifying to think of the fact it's like Crystal. Crystal was a fucking goddess at A Link to the Past. She was fucking insane. And it's terrifying to think of the fact that there was a chance that we would have never seen any runs from her because she played them on console. And it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I don't know why. Wait, what? Crystal is a cheater? Really? I never heard about that. When did that get found out? Oh, really? Well, that's disappointing. Because Link to the Past is the very first game I learned to speedrun. And, I remember way back when everybody was just amazed by her ability to run the game. So that's really disappointing to hear that. How is that not an interception game? Well, maybe that would explain why, like, she seems so fucking insanely good at running the game. Game, I'm like right on top of him. How do I dive in this? Oh, really? That's interesting. How did she cheat? Was it actually using like the emulator to cheat? Was it slowing down the game? Was it splicing? There's so many ways to cheat, which is terrifying. Which I know that's another reason why people don't want emulators, is it's so easy to cheat on them. But at the same time, like, fuck you. That's just stupid. I mean, that's the biggest reason, I think, to not allow emulators. It is easy to cheat on them. But like I said, my big thing is the speedrunning community is just so small already. And to add restrictions, like you need to go and spend money to speedrun, it's a good way to alienate the fucking people that want to get into speedrunning. Like, oh, you want to speedrun? Yeah, you gotta go spend money first. And it'd be different if it was like, the stuff was cheap, but everything I've looked for online, none of it's cheap. Because I know when I was trying to buy stuff for Minish Cap, dude, the fucking Game Boy player and the disc, it's absurd how much shit that fucking costs. Like, it's insane. And the only other game I ever bought stuff for was Crash Bandicoot 2, which I really want to get back into speedrunning that. And I eventually just caved because it took me so long to find the shit for Crash Bandicoot. I just said the hell with it, and I bought a American PS2 and American Crash Bandicoot, which is the slow version. And I regret that decision so much because that's just a waste of money to purposely buy the slow version. But, dude, that was expensive too. And we're talking about a Game Boy 2. We're talking about a PS2 Slim to be precise, because it's got the fast disc speed. We're talking about a PS2 Slim and Crash Bandicoot 2 for the PS1. And that was fucking, it was hard to find those that weren't stupid expensive. It's terrifying, man. People really want to fucking get their money. Yeah, and that's right there. And like, exactly that, some girl. And that's what bothers me about speedrunning, is the fact that like, a lot of games, a lot of people, a lot of the speedrunning community just act like emulators are just the worst fucking thing ever, and that makes it hard for people to get into speedrunning because some of the shit's just expensive. Like, getting into fucking Minish Cap speedrunning, dude, you better have some fucking money sitting around. Or have like a Wii U sitting around, since, I mean, that's the fastest version now. Which, that's honestly probably the easiest and cheapest option, is the Wii U Virtual Console. Because I imagine Wii U's probably don't cost too much. Because they're not a retro console, and they weren't a very big console, so I don't think many people are really caring too much to have them. It's not region locked, is it? I'm pretty sure Nintendo stuff isn't region locked. If it is, the Nintendo shit's really easy to fucking break, so you can easily unregion lock it. Oh, the Wii U is region locked. Well, still. I know, like, the 3DS is region locked and it's really easy to unregion lock it. The Wii, I believe, is region locked. I was just in there saying how this stuff usually isn't region locked, and I'm just listing off the stuff that is region locked. But the Wii and the 3DS are both region locked, if I recall correctly, and they both are really fucking easy to unregion lock. Okay, yeah, so after I said that, I was like, wait a minute, now I'm pretty sure this stuff is region locked. I'm just an idiot. But then, like, with the 3DS, it was like, I think downloading a program or some shit like that. Like, I can't remember what, but I know the Wii is super easy because my buddy did it on mine and his and another buddy's of mine, and it was seriously just like downloading a few things onto an SD card. So I imagine the Wii U, so getting it unregion locked is really easy. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I will always complain about the speedrunning community and their attitude towards emulators because they always have hated on emulators. Always. Ever since I got into speedrunning, which was fucking forever ago. Ever since I got into it, everybody hated on emulators. And that's something that has always been a part of the speedrunning community, is hating on emulators. But official emulators have always been a thing where everybody's like, yeah, we're completely okay with this. It's like, that makes no sense to me. I don't know. It'd be different if, like, the speedrunning community was bigger. Then, like, sure, whatever. I guess. But why not just allow as many people as possible? Hey, last game. Ooh, Denver. I'm assuming that'd be Denver. Boom! But yeah, when you modify your console to unregion lock it, it's hard to call it original hardware at that point in time. And that's what's weird too, is like, you're modifying your console, even if it is just unregion locking it. You are modifying your console. But that's apparently an okay thing to do as well. I don't know. I have a lot of complaints when it comes to the speedrunning community as a whole and how we handle shit. Like, okay, look at Pokemon. I was talking about how, like, I hate how emulators are handled in the speedrunning community. Look at Pokemon. Pokemon's got probably one of the best setups. They're like, hey, you have to use this specific emulator or like one of these specific emulators, and they force you to capture the window. So you can't capture the screen, you have to capture the window so they can see the emulator itself. And like the bar up top and all that, and so they can have all that information. And, like right there, like it's, I don't know, just fucking allow emulators. It's not that difficult. I just dove through that guy. I mean, it definitely doesn't look good when you have that bar up top, but if that's all it takes to allow emulators, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, that always makes it easier, but I just... Well, like, okay, the TMC community, I said we, even though I haven't been part of the TMC community in forever. The TMC community actually went through and tested pretty much everything that TMC ran on. I tested the VBA, GBA, or MGBA. I don't know if anybody actually tested the GBA or not. I think somebody did. The 3DS got tested. The Wii U Virtual Console. Like, literally everything TMC can run on. GB Player. Like, everything got tested. And we found out what was faster, what was slower, and all that shit. We found out the Wii U Virtual Console was, like, one of the fastest ones. So now the world record's on the Wii U Virtual Console. And it was weird, too, because, like, everybody that ran Minish Cap ran it on the Game Boy player or emulator. Everybody. And then one day somebody was like, hey, let's just test all this random shit. Test it, find out that Wii U Virtual Console's faster. Now world records on Wii U Virtual Console. It's like, that's so lame, dude. Fumble! Oh my god, I got it. I was actually even part of helping with that. The video that they do the test, the MGBA and the VBA, that was actually me. Which is weird, because, again, I haven't been part of the Minish Cap community in forever. I know the 3DS was actually, if I recall correctly, the 3DS was actually decently quick. And we made jokes about switching to the 3DS. And I remember shortly after making that joke, somebody posted on how to unregion lock TMC, or unregion lock the 3DS. Dude, are you shitting me? I just jumped through this guy about like 50 times and he just ran. Ah, fuck it. They can have the kickoff return. I don't care. That's awesome. How is that no good? How do you... Okay, one, how are you guys missing PATs? Two, how is that no good? That flew right through the fucking uprights. Am I on drugs? Did that not just go right through the... I'm complaining on behalf of the computer right now. Now, it's just weird that, like... My thing, too, is the, if I was going to be, like, super strict on what I allowed and what I didn't allow, I would not allow emulator at all. Like, even official, because in my eyes, I feel like you should need a cartridge or a disc, whatever the thing originally came out on. I thought that guy was going to intercept that, so I was turning around. I don't know. I will always have complaints with the official emulator stuff, so. First down. I thought that was somebody else I was passing to. So, in other news, I'm like, I feel like I'm 10 years behind. I know it hasn't been that long, but I feel like I'm behind. I actually just started watching Lost. Because I've been listening to a podcast at work, and it's like a 9-year-old podcast, and I started listening from episode 1. And so they've been talking about Lost. So I guess it has been about 10 years since Lost then. Yeah, something about that. Anywho, they've been talking about Lost, and I always heard shit about it when I was during that time too. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Let's try watching Lost, because I've been wanting a new TV show to watch anyway. And I can see why it was a popular show. I'm like 8 episodes in or something. I'm slightly aggravated because it seems like this guy has like 3 receivers. How the fuck is that possible? I'm only getting 2. This guy definitely has 3 receivers. Like, none of my plays do I get 3 receivers, so I'm assuming it might be just exclusive to this team. Try calling a different play. Okay, first of all, how dare you? Secondly, now, I mean, on my playlist, I got 3 run plays and 3 pass plays. Out of those 3 pass plays, it's a long pass, which is 2 receivers, a short pass, which is 2 receivers, or a screen pass, which is 1 receiver. Damn it. I think it might be just exclusive to the team, though. It's weird actually being tied. Well, not tied because they missed a PAT, but close to tied with the team. This team's passing game is strong, man. They're actually connecting passes, which is something that the computer just has so much trouble with. But yeah, I mean, in my playbook, I get counter, lead option, field goal, sweep, and then punt, long, pass, medium, screen. So I'm assuming them having 3 receivers is just specific to that team, which is pretty interesting if it is. And at the same time, if that's the case, I wonder if the playbook is different per team. Which would make sense, but I'd be kind of surprised just because it's a Game Boy football game. Oops, fucking selected lead option. Fuck it, let's keep running the ball. Fuck it, let's not keep running the ball. Hit! Touchdown! Oops, I did not mean to do that. I meant to fucking 3-3 zone. Whew, that was close. Want better pass coverage because they've been killing me on the fucking passes. The good thing is I kicked the ball off to them, so I get the ball to start the second half. Dude, switch to somebody in front, please. Quit fucking switching to people behind him. They just ran the ball, 3rd and 10. And they fucking got it because I couldn't switch to somebody I wanted to. Where the fuck is that going, dude? That wasn't even close to literally anybody. The fucking character switching on this game is just horrible. That's why I have just been sitting back here just waiting and then fucking going after him. I fucking jumped and missed. Awesome. I should probably just get back to my old strategy and just try to go for sacks. Now, is that in or out? Because to me that looked like in. I'm just following the shadow. And it's no good. I don't get this game. Like, how is it possible that these guys are missing PATs, though? That's just sad. Ooh. I'd really like to get a nice lead on them so I don't have to worry about possibly losing. I think I'm just playing more defensively and that's costing me. Or maybe like the skill might actually go up. I don't know. First down! Yeah, I just recently looked up PS2 Slims, and... Dude, I'm running this. No, I'm not. I just recently looked at PS2 Slims, and Crash Bandicoot 2 for the PS1. Man, that's so expensive, it's absurd. Because I didn't know this. They make a pink PS2 Slim. I want that so bad now. Like, I didn't know they made that, and I was on eBay looking, and I saw that, and I was like, dude, that's gorgeous. I need that. I need that in my life. Switch to fucking... Oh my god, game. Are you shitting me? That is their second kickoff return, because the game will not switch to anybody near the fucking ball carrier. And the bad thing is I can't see who's carrying the ball because there's 17 people crowded on top of them. So I'm just jumping into a pile of them and apparently not hitting them. This is hands down the worst thing about this game is trying to switch fucking characters. Because I'm just mashing A and B trying to get it to switch. And it just not switching to anybody. How? That's the third PAT miss. What is wrong with you people? Alright, sure game. That went through my receiver and they caught it. That went through my fucking receiver. And they intercepted it. come on, switch to the fucking guy who's going to the ball. Switch to the fucking, oh my god. It's so dumb that it takes me half an hour to switch to the correct fucking guy. Well, that's good. Should just be a field goal right here. So now they're only... Oh, they're going to miss this. Are you shitting me? I love you guys. You intercepted the ball, which you shouldn't have, and then you fucking miss a field goal. So I'm still in the lead. Whew, that was close. That was not looking good. And they intercepted that. I was like, man, are you shitting me? Am I going to lose? Because I'm having trouble stopping their offense, man. Every other team has been easy. They're just kicking my ass. I love that. In fact, I knocked that guy down, but he tackled me. Next game's gonna take me forever. I thought that guy was gonna intercept it. Ugh. If I can just get a touchdown every single fucking time I get the ball, it'll be good, because right now they're a touchdown and a field goal behind. Or if I can just stop them one time, just one time, and then get a touchdown so I have a lead, that'd be nice. Putting pressure on the quarterback seems to do the trick. That's what I was doing all this time before. I say that, but... Okay, you know what's weird is the play I'm picking, I'm supposed to have a guy... That might be me, though. On the screen, it looks like I have a guy, like, back playing safety. But I thought I had somebody back there. Apparently I don't. So they just have to throw, like, one pass play and then get a touchdown. Hey, they fucking actually made the PAT. Good job, guys. How do you not catch that? These guys are a hell of a lot harder to play defense up against, and playing offense is actually harder too, because they're playing, like, they're not just kind of sitting there. making it easy to pass. So every time I throw the ball now, I'm pretty much terrified that they're going to catch it. Hey, what's up, Struthers? Dude, how are you not catching that? Shoot! Oh no, this game's actually really easy. This is actually the hardest match I've had so far. It's actually been pretty boring up until this one, because they've all been so insanely easy. This game's awesome too. I never played this one, but I played the NES one a good bit when I was younger. It was weird though, because like I feel like the difficulty has been like steady the entire time, and then I get to these guys and they're just fucking a hell of a lot harder. What? I just dove through him? That makes sense, game. I dove through him again. Switch to the right guy, come on. That's the biggest issue with this game, is just getting the character switch, because it always just switches all over the place. Touchdown. Now watch, I'm gonna lose my shit. Alright, so I'm up by 3 points right now. I'm gonna lose my shit because I guarantee during this drive I'm gonna fumble the ball or they're gonna intercept it. One of the two is gonna happen, or they're gonna get the ball and I'm gonna lose right at the end. Because I got like 5 minutes left in this quarter. And I don't think I fumbled the ball at all this entire game. So now would be the perfect time for me to actually fumble. Okay, I got a minute 23. Minute 23 to not lose the ball. .24 seconds. There we go. That should be game right there. I wish I could knee it. There we go. Let's play action football. What a fun little game. That was a very anticlimactic ending too.